Fighting intensified between Kurdish forces and Islamic State militants in northern Iraq as U.S. and French warplanes delivered airstrikes. Meanwhile, bombs killed dozens in Baghdad, where Shiites demonstrated against any redeployment of U.S. forces in Iraq. President Obama has repeatedly ruled out U.S. ground troops in combat roles, saying Iraqis and Syrians backed by the international community will lead the charge.
Over 40 countries have offered to help the broad campaign against ISIL so far, from training and equipment to humanitarian relief to flying combat missions. And this week, at the United Nations, I'll continue to rally the world against this threat.
America's UN ambassador, Samantha Power, previewed the president's appearance.
President Obama will come on Wednesday and will convene a very unusual head of state summit on the issue of foreign terrorist fighters to try to stop the financing to terrorists in places like Iraq and Syria, to counter violent extremism, to involve civil society and clerics and others in delegitimating the messages that ISIL and others are putting forward.
No nation has pledged to join the United States in an air campaign over Syria, but Power remains confident.
I will make you a prediction, George, which is that we will not do the airstrikes alone, if the president decides to do the airstrike.
Last week, both houses of Congress approved the training and equipping of moderate Syrian rebels. Although the measure had ample bipartisan support in both chambers, there were dissenters. Republican Senator Rand Paul.
From Hussein to Assad to Gaddafi, it's the same history. Intervention topples the secular dictator, chaos ensues, and radical jihadists emerge. The pattern has been repeated time and time again, and yet what we have here is a failure to understand, a failure to reflect on the outcome of our involvement in Arab civil wars.
Lawmakers voted before adjourning for what is expected to be an extended recess until midterm elections in November. Michael Bowman, VOA News, Washington.